Hey YouTubers, welcome back to Desert Have a Garden. This video is another video that will be an attempt to make something homemade for you more simple. So I want to show you today how to make homemade corn tortillas. And I wasn't ever really a big fan of corn tortillas just because they always kind of seemed dry or, I don't know, unsavory, I guess, when you would buy them in the big package at the grocery store. So the only way I really liked them before is if they were kind of fried in the pan with oil, and that made them seem more fresh and appetizing to me. However, I came across a recipe recently for homemade corn tortillas using 2 ingredients. How simple can that be? And so I decided to try it, and I have been in love ever since. My husband is asking almost daily for these fresh corn tortillas, and we eat a lot of Hispanic food in our family, and so it's just a great addition. You can whip these up almost quicker than you could even go to the grocery store. So I'm going to show you how to make homemade corn tortillas in a couple of simple steps. Corn tortillas only require 2 simple ingredients. The first ingredient is masa flour. It is basically corn that has been soaked and treated in lime juice, and then it has been dried and ground. This takes 2 cups of masa, and I will put a link below in the description where I order my masa flour. And the second ingredient, water, 1.5 cups. So 2 cups masa flour, 1.5 cups water. That's it. So simple. Here we go, just mixing it up, incorporating the 2 ingredients together until you begin to have a little bit of a dough. And you just kind of press it around in here. Now, if you find that it's too wet, you can always sprinkle in a little bit more masa. If it is too dry, a little bit more water. You basically want it to hold together. If you press it together like that, you don't want it to crumble apart, but you don't want it so wet that it's super sticky or running apart. Once you've got this all mixed together, next we are going to simply wrap it in plastic wrap. I turn this dough out onto a clean countertop, just scraping it all out, kind of forming it into this ball. And you do kind of knead it a couple times with your hands, but it's really more shaping than it is kneading. And I form it into a log. And you kind of want it to be a consistent shape, so the width and height is pretty consistent all the way across. Doesn't have to be perfect, but there's my little log of masa. Now I wrap it up in plastic wrap. This is to prevent it from drying out. So I just lift it up and wrap it. If any broke off, you can just kind of stick it back on there. And it's nice and wrapped up. And here you can just form it a little bit more if you want to. And now we allow it to rest for 30 minutes. Now that 30 minutes has passed, you can open up your plastic wrap, and you'll want to keep the pieces covered that you're not currently working with, just so that they don't dry out while you're working with them. So I kind of just open up the top here, and this is going to make 16 tortillas. So first I divide it in half, and you can use a knife for this. I just use one of my bread cutter things, and then I divide this one in half, and then each one of these in half again, and in half again. So it makes these thin little slices. Using this method with the fancy machine I'm going to show you in a second will not require rolling these out. So if any little crumbs come off, you can just poke them back in there. So I'm going to set this over to the side and slide over this, which is my heated up tortilla machine I believe it's called a tortilla press or a tortilla cooker, but it does both of those things at the same time. It is Brentwood, you can see it there, and it's already preheated. I have it set on a medium heat. So all you simply do is you open it up and you put the first piece here approximately in the middle, closing it down, and you do one firm press down all the way down and then let go. That's the key to not having a torn tortilla, because if you don't let go and you hold it down, it holds that pressure in there, and while the steam's releasing, it actually causes holes to form in the tortilla as the steam is really trying to press out. So I find that I need to leave it here about 20 seconds. In the video, I don't know if you can see the steam escaping from here. The steam is showing that the moisture is cooking off. If you don't cook it long enough, it just feels doughy, and if you cook it too long, it really just turns into like a tortilla chip. It's really crispy. So then you open this up and check on it, and this looks really good. So it would be more doughy. So you can see it's kind of darker here, but it's still cooked through. So we'll go ahead and use a spatula to get it off of there. And you may have noticed that I didn't grease or butter this at all. It's a non-stick surface, and when it cooks it doesn't stick to it. So doing the second one, we press down firmly and then release. And for the ones that you are, so again, keep this covered over here, and the ones that you've already made, you can put into a tortilla warmer or just simply cover them with plastic wrap so they don't dry out while you are doing this. So you just repeat this for all of the pieces. When you have put all of the tortillas through the tortilla press and cooked them all, you'll have something that looks like this, a nice stack of fresh, soft tortillas. And then you're ready to fill it with whatever you please. So I have some pork carnitas here. And then we like to add on some cheese, and you can add on guacamole, salsa. I've got a little bit of cabbage here, and then some hot sauce, and you are ready to go. So this is my simple tutorial for homemade corn tortillas. I hope you enjoy them and try it for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more updates in the future.